Okay, for week 10, we're going to look at a Metheny lick. It's from the recording All the Things You Are, his recording of that on Question in Time. It is over a G major chord, and it's got some nice chromatic ideas in it, so that's the basic lick. So we're not going to learn we're going to treat the first two notes as pickup notes. I wouldn't learn them at first. I would start off, so instead of playing those two notes, I'd start off learning the lick 7, 6, 5, then 7 on the 4th. Then he shifts. One thing about him, he slides all over the place and he plays kind of weird, but it's part of what gives him his sound. I think he fingers this lick exactly like this. Was kind of messing with some of them. This one really, it makes sense. If he doesn't, this is an easier way. But like I said, he tends to slide around a lot. But that's just part of why his sound is. But anyway, this all fits kind of nicely, and if you shift here, when you go down to the 4th fret, and then go 5th, 4th on the B string, then slide down, and then you're ready to come down the triad, 3 on the B, 4 on the G, and 5 on the D. So we got this. And I would treat that as the first little lick. And visualize it according to that, or according to that chord shape, that major 7 chord shape, or any major chord shape where the root is on the 6th string. So what happens is, if you want it, so we're learning it in G, so you start 2 frets up from the position of the actual chord. So if you just look at this, like a G bar chord, that's where you're starting the lick. So when you transpose it and go up to C, you start it right there. So learn to move it there. And then move it around to go through, I think we talked about this before in other lick breakdowns, is playing it in through the cycle of 5ths or the cycle of 4ths or whatever. You can move it up in minor thirds just so you get used to transposing that lick. The sooner you start doing that, the easier it is. And in fact, as I learn new shapes and licks, I immediately, even before I've learned the whole lick, I will immediately start transposing it, because it gets to be second nature if you do that. So I'll shut up and back to the rest of the lick. So when after that, the next, I would chop that. I would start the next. You could think of, say, a lick here. Think of that as the second lick. So it's really, we're kind of cutting it. We've got that little triad in both of our licks, if we're thinking it that way. The first little lick and then the second one here. So that's down that triad, and then when you're on the 4th string, it's just chromatically going 5, 4, 3, and then go to 5 on the 5th string, sorry. So we got, and then you're going to go down to the 2nd on the E string, which is the 6th. So you're actually, the last note is the 6th. And he, going back to the full lick now, whoops. So that's the full lick. Well, learn that and get used to playing, thinking of this as the downbeat. And then add these 2 notes. So you're just going to add those first 2 notes in the tab, 5 to 6, and then play your lick. And then so start to think of them as pickup notes, because that should be a 1 or a downbeat at least. But that's basically your lick right there. Join us next week and we'll look at a different lick.